Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. As some of you know, I live in Ukraine and the situation with power and electricity is critical. So in this video I'm going to try and share with you my experience of surviving the blackouts, the rolling power outages, brownouts, in the best way I thought is financially possible, the simplest. Our problems with electricity started back in 2022, just when we got invaded. We were not ready for it. We had 2 to 3 weeks of power outages, blackout, not power outages, but straight blackout. Uh, it wasn't easy. We weren't prepared. We hadn't even like power banks or anything. So as a last resort, we even resorted to charging phones from laptops, because always communication outweighs entertainment. You could get a day out of a phone better than watching a movie for a couple of hours. In 2023, we started getting hit constantly, like on the energy infrastructure. We started getting rolling power outages, as in you get 3 hours of power, 6 hours no power, vice versa. Like it depends. Like could be 4, could be 5, could be 6, depends. And then but but I was on the power line I live on. I was set. It's the VIP power line, and because we have the hospital on it, we have the police station, we have the banks, we have the pharmacies, and other neighborhoods in my town would lose power, but we never lose power. We always had power. But except when like there is a big attack as a preventive measures, they would like shut down the power for like a couple of hours while rockets are flying or something, as to not like damage the grid. But that changed. That changed. People started complaining. Why these people have power? We don't have power. So everybody became equals, and we started losing power. So I got an EcoFlow Delta 2 Max while taking in consideration like the power outages as a rolling. So you get power, the EcoFlow charges, power goes off, you use the power of the EcoFlow for like 3, 4, 6, 5 hours, and power comes back, you charge the EcoFlow, like and so on and so forth. But that's a great solution when you know when the power is going to come back. But as so happens, our shitty neighbors keep bombing more and more infrastructure, and the power outages become longer and longer. So from 6 hours, it's 9 hours, it's 12 hours. We've had up to 3 days of blackouts, and that's when the EcoFlow becomes not a very good solution. And so I thought, oh, I need to charge the EcoFlow. I'm going to get a generator. So at 4 a.m. browsing the internet, I go on this website. I found this generator for like some $50. I get the generator. I managed to start it. They had some problems. Had to get it to a repair guy. We messed around with it the whole evening. We got it to work. I bring it home. Yeah, it fires up. The fridges work. The power works. Like the routers work. The phones charge. But the EcoFlow wouldn't. The EcoFlow needs a very clean 50 hertz electricity. I wouldn't accept power from dirty power with like, what's the word for it? Harmonic something. It would not accept that power. So I looked around. There was a lot of solutions, but none of them is like really practical. Inline UPS stuff that would take the electricity, the dirty electricity from the generator, and they will turn it into clean electricity that EcoFlow could use. And they were like hundreds of dollars. Also, like side note, power like generators, whatnot here are the prices are insane markups because it's demand, offer and demand, and there is a high demand on stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. So I looked around and I got this guy, an inverter generator. It basically like sips fuel compared to the other generator. It outputs very clean power, 50 hertz, very clean sine wave that the EcoFlow accepts. The fridges run, the power, like the lights are on, uh, everything works of this guy, and it's much smaller than the what you call it, than the traditional generator. What I do is, in case of prolonged power outages, I would fire up this guy, charge up the EcoFlow. While the EcoFlow is charging, I also add gradually fridges, the fridge and the freezer, because their startup power surge is big. So while the EcoFlow is charging for like 1 or 2 hours, I have the fridges and the fridge and the freezer working to maintain the cold. I have everything, the power banks charging of the socket, the lights are on, the routers at work, the PC is on at the same time. And then I shut down this guy and I power everything I need of the EcoFlow. So for the EcoFlow, the things I mainly power are my PC for work stuff, video editing, etc., streaming sometimes, lights obviously, charging stuff, phones, power banks, etc., coffee machine, uh, and sewing machines. My wife's sewing machines, laptop also. Things we don't run on EcoFlow are the fridge, the boiler, the cooking stuff. Because for cooking, we'll go inside, and I will show you all the other setups.
So for cooking, heating, we are lucky because we have a fireplace that runs on wood. So yeah, I don't know about summertime because it's not a smart thing to fire a fireplace during summertime, but in wintertime it's like two or three birds with one stone. The whole house is warm, and we have these two, like this whole surface is hot. The only thing is you have to spend like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes heating up the thing to be able to cook or something. You can even heat like water, like sometimes I just like heat water in it for like taking baths and stuff. And for like the fireplace runs out of heat, I got this 5 liters fire stove. It's enough to like make a coffee, boil water for tea, heat food, I don't know, fry some eggs or something. The only problem I have with it is that these are very, very slippery. So most of the time you have to hold the thing you're cooking for it not to fall over, tip over. And before this, we used to use this, which is like a camping stove. It runs off a propane can connect like a big gas stove to it as well. I press this button, it locks it in place. You and you fire it up. I think it has a firing mechanism, ignition. It's very comfortable. It's small, it's tiny, but hey, gets the job done. Now for the internet. Basically, we have optic fiber internet, so even if there is no power, the internet still like comes through these small cables. This is a GPON terminal, but it needs power to run. So I discovered on AliExpress these cables. You can see it's running off a power bank. Power banks give 5 volts. This takes 12 volts. You get these special cables with DC boosters, DC boosters from 5 to 12 or 5 to 9 depending on your router, and it can power it. Like the solution, the ready solution is cheap, but you can also make it yourself. It's probably not cheaper, but you can get the DC boosters. If somebody wants to see a video about it, I can show it. You can see here it goes from here to there. These are power banks, DIY, kind of half DIY power banks, around the 421 700 things, batteries. This can power the router for about, I don't know, some 24 hours, maybe more. And I got the same setup for the main router, for the Wi-Fi router. I'll show you. I got the same setup here. The router connected to a power bank. You can see I have 12 volts written on it, just like so. When my wife is switching the power, she knows which is which because all the cables are black and I have a lot of cables on my desk. So yeah. So now on to the power banks. These are very useful. They come in all sorts of types and shapes. I already showed you a couple of them. These are store bought. This is half store bought. Like this is from AliExpress. I think there is like 650 batteries or 5 in it. You can check always like the capacity on them. 91. They usually have a button. These support like fast charging, so you can, that's a very important thing. Side note, fast charging is very important, so because you get power for very limited amounts of time and you can just like chill there and charge your stuff with just like 10 watts. So fast charging is very important. I can link some fast chargers from AliExpress I can recommend because I personally use them. I use the power banks mainly to power up the routers. I do not use them to charge phones. I have a couple that my wife took to charge phones, which is traveling. At home, I don't need to charge phones with the power banks. I use them to power up the routers, the GPON, and the Wi-Fi one. And the other use for them I have is powering up LED strips. I will post a couple pictures of how they run. I have basically an LED strip going on the kitchen top that power like lights up the cooking spot and like where you cut, where you wash dishes, cut vegetables, whatnot. And I have another one in the bathroom, as you can see now. It goes like from one end to the other, and it lights up the whole bathroom very nicely without having to use like electricity from the EcoFlow, because yeah, that's precious. When we got caught off guard by the Russians and we were under occupation for quite some time, one of the problems, like real main problems we had back then, it's lighting. We had to use candles, we had to burn fucking papers. We had to like it was terrible. We had to go to bed early because yeah, like there is no power. And since then we've gotten, this is just like a part of the collection. Light, flashlights, spotlights, whatever, desk lamps, all of this is important. These are nice lanterns. Sorry for them being dusty, that sometimes they just gather dust. These are like lanterns that are charged. Yeah, well done me showing uncharged lanterns. Well, there you go. It lights like this, it lights like this. It has a small 1 watt or something charger on the top, solar cells. These you can get them for cheap on AliExpress. These are very nice. These are my favorite. Uh, they have 3 modes. They have a flexible shaft. Oh, I'm recording with one hand. They have a flexible shaft, so you can direct the light whichever way you want, and when you insert it in the thing, it becomes like a very nice light. I got a lot of flashlights because I vape and I have a lot of leftover batteries from like when I'm done, when they're like halfway dead, and I got a lot of flashlights. This one is amazing. It's a 30-watt flashlight. Like even the light coming from it is hot. That's how good it is. Runs off a 21700 battery. A lot of other flashlights. A head mounted flashlight for when I need to be like hands free to like carry wood or repair something where I need both hands. Yeah, lighting is a very important thing, but you can get away with small fixes like these. You do not have to go like out of your way firing up a generator just like to have lights inside. I think that's the dumbest thing. I see some stores doing that sometimes. They'd be like firing up generator outside 24/7 just like to have the lights on. Like, geez, you can't just like use LED lamps for like strips or lamps or anything. Like there is a lot of choices for lighting. I think is the easiest thing to fix during a blackout. But yeah, on to the next thing. The next thing is voltage stabilizers. As you can see, the up number, that's how much we're getting now. That's 250. Sometimes that number can go much higher or much lower. And fridges and freezers need to work, and they need stable electricity, and they hate numbers going up and down. Now the main voltage stabilizer I have is this one, which stabilizes the power for both the PC and the whatchamacallit and the EcoFlow. And the EcoFlow, as I mentioned earlier, it does not like unstable electricity. So when it's a little bit way below 220, it would refuse to charge. And yeah, the PC isn't that cheap to run it without a voltage stabilizer. So yeah, that would take a 180. It takes from 140 to 300, 300, and it would output something close to 220. So now I have the PC running. This is like a EcoFlow. It's being charged. The PC is running off the EcoFlow. It's confusing, but I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I'm a professional. But yeah, I think that's it. I have a small bonus to show you. So I mentioned the small bonus. The small bonus is this torture-like device, because like during the blackout, you need to use any energy you can get. So basically, most people have like a 12-volt car battery laying around, and it's just like collecting dust and dying. So what I thought is I'd get these two clamps, connect them to this DC booster. It takes like very low voltages and can output very high voltages. So I have it set to give 20 volts on the output. And ta-da! Is what we have at the end. A jack for my Lenovo laptop. So I can power up my laptop through a car battery, through my car battery, and it will run like for a lot, like 5 hours plus, compared to the half hour it runs off on its like old dying battery. It's a nice thing. I got it I think for like $1 off AliExpress, which is amazing. I got a couple of them. I haven't had any problems with them. Yeah, they're amazing. Works. Plus, minus, connect, free entertainment of old car battery.